Let's do it. Detroit Lions, 7-round NFL mock draft. I'm Cody Carpentier with the Draft Rankings Show every single day, 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on the YouTube channel, always the next morning on podcast. We're getting through the NFC North right now. We're going to stop with the Detroit Lions for a 7-round mock draft. Please click that like button. Please click subscribe. For transparency purposes, we're doing this post signings of Isaiah Pacheco, post signing of both offensive linemen, Larry Borum and Cade Mays. But that's it for the Detroit Lions. So if anything's happened since the Isaiah Pacheco signing, it has not yet been accounted for in this mock draft. But some needs that we do see for the Detroit Lions, as I pull up my sheet and as I was unprepared to not pull up my sheet, the team needs for the Detroit Lions that we have noted down are edge, corner, left tackle, D tackle, linebacker, slot corner, center, right guard. Of course, when you take into account that you got a center and a right tackle and a running back, you can kind of mark off center and the right side of the offensive line. So where does the genesis of that first round pick lean into as you pick at pick 17 overall? I'm going to start this mock draft using the PFF mock draft simulator. Vega Iwane falls. I always butcher that name. The guard from Penn State gets taken by the Jets at 16 to replace Elijah Vera Tucker. The Lions are now on the clock here at pick 17, and the mock draft simulator projection system from grinding the mocks has predicted Caden Proctor 11%, Caleb Lomu 9%, TJ Parker 9%, and Vega Iwane 8% as far as the mock drafts have come through for the Detroit Lions. Obviously, you have free agency for free agents like DJ Reader entering free agency, Marcus Davenport on the defensive end with Al-Qadim Muhammad, and that linebacker, you have Malcolm Rodriguez entering free agency with a bevy of backups across the defensive backfield of Arthur Mollett, Avonte Maddox, Jalen Mills, Rocky Sin alike. So I think a lot of the projection here can go to the defense and the offensive line, where I think you look at the left tackle position, namely, you brought in, like I just mentioned before the show, Larry Borum. Whatever they do, left tackle, right tackle with Penne and a Borum and another body, I think is going to be interesting. That could obviously be an option here at the top of the first round, or I guess the middle of the first round. You do have guys like Blake Miller who are getting a lot of traction. I disagree with Maxi Hanachor, Caleb Lomu, your proper left tackle in this class, Caden Proctor, another massive human being that you could plug in as well to that spot. The values that have fallen to us, Kenyon Sadiq, tight end from Oregon, don't really need that. Javon McCoy, the cornerback from Tennessee. I did a mock draft earlier this week at the Minnesota Vikings. That's also an option. You have Terry and Arnold right now with Ennis Rakestraw. You spent some draft capital there, as well as getting DJ Reed last offseason. So I don't think that's going to be the direct spot that the Detroit Lions go. Now, you could go Caleb Banks, one of my favorite prospects in this entire class. From a projection perspective, you could plug in Caleb Banks at the defensive tackle, nose tackle spot where DJ Reader was the last couple of years. I do think that has legs. Not a lot of mock drafts leaning towards that, but I do like Caleb Banks there at pick 17 overall. Some other values that are available, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at the safety position could plug in. I think you look at edge, where you got Keldrick Falk, and you also should have TJ Parker available as well. A little early for me for Cassius Howell. Personally, in this draft, I know people aren't going to love this. I think the value is in Caleb Banks. I think that Detroit is the perfect spot to get a guy like Caleb Banks right. But I also do understand protecting the quarterback. However, because Vega is gone, Ione from Penn State, my inkling would be to go defensive line in this situation. I think you could also tell yourself a lot of different stories, but this class is deep at edge. You can get edge later. I still think there's tackle in the second round when you pick a pick 50 for an option there as well. So we're going to take Caleb Banks here as my long-windedness gets us over the 4-minute mark on this episode. Like I just said, I think we can look at other spots like edge and the offensive line in round 2. We're picking at pick 50. We also pick at 118, 128, 155. So we got a bunch of picks kind of moshed together later on. So we got Josh Josephs, the best available right now at the defensive end position for Detroit from Tennessee. Derek Moore, Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State, Romello Height, Kieran Crawford, LT Overton. I love this whole group. I think you could tell me a story for any of these guys. Derek Moore, obviously from Michigan. Josh Josephs is there as well. I think grabbing Caleb Banks right there at the top of the first round kind of gives me a little bit of pressure taken off as far as the defensive line goes. I sort of want to put some attention on the offensive line, depending on what they do, right? They added Juice Scruggs in a trade. They add Larry Borman for agency, Cade Mays. I think unless there's a move made between when this show dropped and when it didn't, Jennings Dunker's a big value here, a guy that can play outside and inside. Some people are worried about his speed on the outside. I'm not. I'm more worried about this guy's toughness, and I think that this guy has what it takes to be a Detroit Lion. So if you do have kind of an argument of who's going to play inside outside, you have a valuable guy here that can do both. So I love Jennings Dunker at 50. May not be everyone's cup of tea. It's mine here, though, at 50. Lions are on the clock now. I pick 118. Now they pick 118, 128, 155, 180, 187, 204, and 222. I want to go back to edge here with this selection. Nadeem Tucker from Western Michigan falls to us here. Caden Curry, a lot of value fell out at the edge position here. I think we can wait. I like Fanu later. I like Wesley Williams later. We're talking a couple of rounds. Ethan Burke later. A couple of rounds later. So let's check out linebacker now. We do have Rodriguez entering free agency. Torian York is interesting. We had a very athletic showing from Trey Moore at the NFL Combine. Xavier Sori in a couple of rounds, I think is an interesting selection. I'm more in the Trey Moore thing. I think we can push that can down 155 or 180 though. So let's get off of there. Other positions we need to check out for the Detroit Lions. We need to get cooking because we got a lot of spots to fill up here for the Lions. Let's go check out cornerback and see what's available. Cornerback, Jalen Kilgore, Manny Muhammad. Manny Muhammad here in round 4. I don't know if he's going to be available, but I love Manny Muhammad. We're taking Manny Muhammad from Texas. And then honestly, I kind of want to add Kilgore as well with him, but I'm not sure. Jude Bowery falls here, tackle from Boston College. I thought he was going to go 3rd round, so I didn't even have tackle really on my radar. Let me check out tackle and make sure nobody else fell because I kind of like Bowery right here. Oh my gosh. Something must have shifted with some of these PFF ADPs because Crownover, Emil Wagner, Jude Bowery, even J.C. Davis, I think all these guys, you're talking about top 100, top 120 selections. We're sitting here at 128. We need to get one of these tackles on the roster. We Crownover at right tackle. I think Wagner was also right tackle last year. Bowery was left, though. Why don't we take – I'm going to take Bowery from Boston College. Left tackle, pick him here at 128 overall. The Lions did add running back in Isaiah Pacheco. I still think running back is potentially a button you could click in this draft, but I don't think it's at the top of the heap. Wide receiver, you do have your top 3 dogs, but your 4th is Dominic Lovett. You could add a 4th in this draft as well. Wide receiver options here in round 5. Kevin Coleman from Missouri. He's a dog. He's interesting. I think you could add a couple of guys later on, though. I love Josh Cameron to fit in with the Detroit kind of style. Malik Benson brings some speed element. Dylan Bell is a grinder, a blocker in the run game as well. So there's that. Let's go back and check out cornerback again now in round 5. Ephesians Prescott's available. Charles Demings. Takario Davis, another long cornerback I think you could probably get in the next round. We're really getting to a point where I kind of just want to kick the can on a couple of these dudes down to the next following couple of rounds. We do need to get a linebacker, though, on this roster. I like Trey Moore. We talked about Trey Moore earlier. I like Aiden Fisher. I like Trey Moore a little bit more. He's a versatile guy that can play off ball, but can also rush the edge as well. So right now, so far, we're 5 picks in. We got Caleb Banks from Florida, defensive tackle. Jennings Dunker from Iowa, guard/tackle. Malik Muhammad, cornerback from Texas. Jude Bowery, offensive tackle from Boston College. Trey Moore, linebacker/pass rusher from Texas as well. We got 4 picks left. We're at 180, 187, 204, and 222. I think we're going to add a receiver. We're going to add a running back. I think we add an edge. And then we'll see what happens with that last one. So receiver, running back, edge, and then we'll see what happens with that last selection. So the best available right now is Jamari Taylor, Aaron Anderson, Kalen Black, Tyron Montgomery. Where I'm going to go with this roster is, I don't think there's a lot available at edge. Gosh, dang. Vincent Anthony's probably my favorite out of this group. these really aren't. Ethan Burke's probably more of a Detroit guy. Patrick Payton's got some great athleticism traits, potential. I think he can kick the can on him. So those guys are all like next round, like second to last pick. So if we look at receiver and running back availabilities, I told you guys about Dylan Bell earlier. He's way down here. Don't care. I want to use a pick on him. Josh Cameron's available. The running backs, though, it kind of I mean, you look at where this running back room is right now. You got Jacob Sailors, you got Sione Vaki. I would add a guy. I don't want to go into a season with Robichaux or Vaki really like have any expectations. Sailors, we'll see what happens. I mean, he was great in the UFL last year, the XFL, but I don't have a lot of faith in Pacheco. And if Pacheco gets hurt, all of a sudden it's Sailors. That's it. So I kind of want to go running back right here. So I'm going to get rid of the receiver thing. We're over 10 minutes. I got to get moving. I've been so slow on these this last week. A bigger back with some projection that comes into the profile is Adam Randall, a guy that's 232 pounds. CJ Donaldson, another guy that's 238 pounds. Two hefty running backs here, Adam Randall and CJ Donaldson from Clemson and Ohio State. I like the projection with Adam Randall a little bit more as a pass catcher, former wide receiver. We're going to go ahead and take him here. Pick 187, then I'm going to go to wide receiver, and I'm going to take Josh Cameron from Baylor. Similar to Adam Randall in that he's 234 pounds, looks like a running back more than a receiver, but he has great hands, 10-inch hands, big, great hands. And then we're going to go check out Edge quick, TJ Guy, Vincent Anthony. I talked about Patrick Payton earlier. I like Logan Fano from Utah. That's also kind of a knee-biting type of a player from Utah. So we're going to go Logan Fano. And then with our last selection, I want to make sure there's no positions I missed out on here for the Detroit Lions. We got corner, we got edge, we got D tackle, did we get a linebacker? Do we forget on linebacker through this whole draft? Oh, we got Trey Moore. So I think we're good there. We could go interior again. We could check. I don't really want to go interior. We could check out interior. Ethan Anianwa always falls here. Never makes any sense. Micah Morris from Georgia, another option as well. I'm just going to keep on clicking this Ethan Anianwa button. I think I've taken him in over half of these drafts. It doesn't make any sense to me that he's still available. We'll take him from Ohio State here with the last selection for the Detroit Lions. There is your 7-round mock draft for the Detroit Lions. It comes by way. Caleb Banks in round 1, Jennings Dunker round 2, Manny Muhammad and Jude Bowery in round 4, Trey Moore and Adam Randall in round 5, Josh Cameron and Logan Fano in round 6, and then Ethan Anianwa in round 7 gives us a B- for the Detroit Motor City Kitties. Click that like button, click subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think of this draft if you're a Detroit Lions fan.